Hello and welcome. My name is Ogurekin. A lot of people call me coachAOG. Hey, listen. Let me welcome you to my YouTube page. I'm very excited to be hosting you again today. It's quite sunny. I'm sure you can see the sun ray beaming in from my studio right now. Listen, it's an exciting moment. We about actually approaching the mid of this year. That this video has been recorded, but I can assure you the information that I'll be sharing with you today can be used at any time of the year. Either you're watching this video at the beginning of the year or at the end of the year or right in the bang in the middle of the year. It doesn't really matter, because the topic that I'll be sharing with you today, ladies and gentlemen, is what it is. It is called mindset maintenance. But actually, before we actually go ahead, let me make sure that we have a couple of house rules. Okay, turn off your social media. I know some of you might even find this so strange, but I think is much better if you can just focus now on in the last or in the next 25-30 minutes I'll be spending together sharing with this idea, because you want to actually get this information. I know you can come back to this video and watch it again, but at this moment that you're watching it, you want to get as much as you can out of this information. Okay, so let's just go ahead and keep that house rule. So again, I mean, you can subscribe to my YouTube channel. The valuable information that you can actually get on this YouTube page. Okay, but today the topic that I want to share with you is called the mindset maintenance. Okay, the mindset maintenance. So because we human beings, we have been wired to be fixing stuff. We wait until when things have been broken before we want to fix it. So why not we think ahead and do a maintenance? Okay, we don't have to wait until we get things broken. We can actually do based on strategy. We can actually use the strategy to make sure that we don't really have to be waiting to fix stuff. Okay, so the topic is going to be on mindset maintenance. As I mentioned, whenever time you're watching this video, I can guarantee you the information that you'll be about to listen to is going to be valuable. There's going to be about 3 topics that I'll be sharing with you today. Okay, so the first one really is going to be about belief. So this is the word that everybody uses. Okay, believe. But this is how I get to find out to define any word. Anytime you come across a particular word, call those or mention the word in syllables. Okay, call the word in syllables. Then you can split those words in different syllables. Then you define or try to define those words the way they are. Do a little bit of research on the syllable of these words by themselves. Then bring them back together so you can have a proper understanding. And a lot of people use the word belief. And if you call belief, you find out that it's actually 2 words, right? The be and the live. Before I actually go ahead, let me mention something to you, that our belief system is going to be based on how we reevaluate something. Okay, let me say that again. Your belief system is going to be based on how you reevaluate something. So if you believe in something, you realize that if you think about that information again, or you actually do some thought process on that particular thing you believe on, you realize most of the time it tends to change. You tend to have a different view. I just want to point make that point across. But coming back to the word believe being split into 2, ladies and gentlemen, you actually see that like word parachute. The word parachute was being coined in 1784, and actually a para actually means defense against. Okay, that's what para means. Then shoot means a fall. So if you put them together, you see like parachute is something that helps you to defend against a fall. That makes sense, right? So the same thing come across with belief as well. But one thing though, in the belief, the L-I-E-V-E doesn't make sense, right? Because there's a secret in that word. That secret is E. Because ladies and gentlemen, if you cancel out that E, it now makes sense. Leave, right? Believe. You see? Believe. So now what does that actually mean? So B is the being whatever you want in your mind. That is the be. You want to be something. You be that thing in your mind. Then believe is acting as if, or to assume you are that person, at least for 1%. Because listen, gentlemen, if you tell me that you believe something, you actually want to put that into action. There's no way you're going to tell me that you know you can ride a car, you believe you can ride a bicycle, without actually you being on that bicycle and riding. Because How's that ever going to be possible, right? So you got to be that person and leave it out. At least 1%. Now, why is this necessary? Why do you want to leave and leaving this thing out, whatever you say you be? Because this works in tandem with the law of attraction. If you click on that link right now, ladies and gentlemen, that will take you to a video that actually explains the law of attraction. You want to actually watch that video and actually chew on it, because you will understand there's no way you say you believe and the law of attraction is not going to be evoked. You see, we become what we think about. That is all. That is law of attraction in a short term. We become what we think about. And we say believe is to be in your mind, right? You have to first of all be that thing, then you leave it out. And the law of attraction is not just about you thinking something and you fold your hands and things going to bring about. No. When you think about certain things, there's something, somehow, your body will have that feeling, and guess what? You put yourself into action, and the law of attraction will help you corresponding every element on earth that is going to make it happen. And I tend to find out that belief actually works in line with a self-image, because we are being in our mind anyway. So it depends on the image that you hold in your mind. But let me point something out as well. We don't get what we want in life. We get what we picture. We don't get what we want in life. We get what we picture. So the question is, what do you picture? Because whatever you picture is going to be on your self-image. And if it's on your self-image, you're going to be that thing in your mind. Then you're living in that 1%, at least you acting something. Then that will correspond, that will evoke the law of attraction to bring whatever you believe into existence. And guess what? They call it miracles start happening. Now that's the first topic. Let's go to the second one. Second one I love so much. They call it the magic word. Earl Nightingale call it the secret of secret. It's called attitude. Attitude. A lot of people actually use this word loosely. Yeah, she's giving attitude. This guy got attitude. Yeah, I mean, I don't like the attitude. But really, do we actually understand what this word means? Let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. I love to define something in a very, very simple way, so that I can pass that information to a 7-year-old, and if I can give any information to a 7-year-old and they can understand it, guess what? It means I actually understood it. So how can I explain or define attitude? It's very simple. This is the composite of the way you think, the way you feel, and the way you act about any certain thing, about you, about anything at all. When you think in a certain way, you feel in a certain way, you're going to act in a certain way, guess what? You have the right attitude. Because there's no way anybody going to think loosely or think wrongly and feel right and act right. It's impossible. The only way you can say that that girl or that guy has a wrong attitude is because probably they did something wrong. Action. Or the way you feel. When you get around there, they feel so, like, weird. You know they have a wrong attitude. Let me help you paint this picture of attitude. There's a snack that I love to say, the magic snack. Everybody loves the magic snack. What is the magic snack? The magic snack is cake. I love my cake with a bit of some cream on it. They used to tell me I have some sugar tooth, right? With a bit of cream on it, maybe some cherry standing on top of it, or strawberry, whatever. I just love cake, okay? Now, what is cake? Cake is a composite of many ingredients. Flour, yeast, egg, butter, whatever. So when you put all those ingredients together, they become cake. Then, you picture this. I come to your house, right? On an evening, kind of a late afternoon, about 5, 6-ish, and you give me a plate of cake and a cup of tea. After having it, I said, "Oh wow, great yeast." You'll be like, "You're right, are you?" Or I said, "Yeah, great spice." Hell no, I'm not going to say that. I would say great cake, because cake is a composite of several stuff mixed together to become cake. So that's the same thing with attitude, ladies and gentlemen. It is the composite of the way you think, the way you feel, and the way you act about a certain thing that becomes attitude. So whatever you're going through in life, you better have a right attitude. You better have a right attitude. It doesn't really matter. Ladies and gentlemen, you can click on the link below. That will take you to a video that I explain about you having the right attitude. Actually, I have a testimony to that. A friend of mine, after launching the video about 3-4 days on the YouTube, a friend of mine called me and said there was a particular afternoon, it was raining, and she actually had to go out to meet a client. She's in the network marketing business. And she was really feeling down because the day was gloomy, it was wet, really pouring down. And she watched that video, peradventure, that morning. And I explained to her that, listen, don't let the weather change you. You got to do the right thing that you want to do anyway. You got to have the right attitude about everything. And all of a sudden, she was motivated in a way. I mean, I'm happy, I'm grateful that I can help in a way. And she went on out and she got a check. She actually did. I mean, she had a choice to say, yes, rain is going to be wet. Nah, I can't be bothered. I'm just going to stay. Or she can say, yep, you know what? Maybe this client will be happy and grateful and actually motivated as I am about this business, about this product. And even though it's raining, I still go into that rain to go chase them up. And I think that's a reason why the client bought. We don't know, right? But anyway, attitude is the composite of where you think, feel, and act. All of it, all in line, will give you a great attitude. The third thing I want to share with you, ladies and gentlemen, is the S.I.P concept. When I came across this, it revolutionized my life because it painted a picture of a certain thing that I've been looking for that I do not actually understand, and I want to actually understand this information. So this S.I.P concept is something that you're actually familiar with. But let me warn you guys, this costs over $700 to get this information. And I'm doing it for you for free. But I want to tell you it costs $700 plus to get this information. So it is for real. Don't take this page or don't take this section lightly at all. It is for real, ladies and gentlemen. See, the S.I.P is all about you being a spiritual person, you having an intellect, and you living in a physical body. And a lot of people are actually familiar with this concept. See, the spiritual side of you are actually a spirit being, you have an intellect, and you live in a physical body. So there are different levels. Okay, there are different levels, and this level you can't really separate them. It's like the color of rainbow, that they are interlinked. What you can see and what you cannot see are the same. Let me say that again. What you can see and what you cannot see are the same. Maybe I better do a proper description or definition of that later on in a later video. But let's go on. Using the stick person, which actually breaks this down on how the spirit, intellect, and the physical body actually interlink. Because you have to remember, as I said earlier, what you can see and what you cannot see are the same. See, when you are boiling water in your kettle, right, or on an open pot, on that physical state, it's water, right? And the physical state is water. It gets to a point, that water becomes gas. We can call that your intellect. It gets to a point, that gas becomes air. You can't say no more. But the question I have for you is, at what point does that water turn to gas? You would say at 100 degrees centigrade. But you'll be wrong. Because you can't tell me for a fact, right? It could be at 50, it could be at 45, it could be at 47. So what you can see and what you cannot see is actually interlinked. And that's exactly the same way we operate. Because your conscious mind and your subconscious mind, we get to understand that subconscious mind is more powerful. Your subconscious mind really is the power of you, which is your spirit side, right? But we don't know where it ends and where it starts. We don't know where the conscious ends and where it starts. Somebody's going to tell me, my body starts right there and right there. No, that's a lie. That's what you can see. But what you cannot see, you don't know where it starts to come. These are phenomenal information. Let's take it a little bit further. The stick person was actually brought about by Dr. Thomas Fleet. Dr. J.B. Ryan said something. I have the quote. He said, "The mind is the greatest creation. Is the greatest power of all creation." The mind is the greatest power of all creation. Now, somebody's going to say, no, that's wrong. No, the mind is not the greatest creation. God is, no. Let me tell you. God is the greatest creator. God is a creator. The mind is God's creation. And the mind is the greatest power of all creation. Okay? So this stick person actually helps us to be able to help cause and effect. Because a lot of people, they were treating the effect, leaving the cause. So Dr. Thomas Fleet used this stick person concept, the S.I.P concept, to actually help people understand the cause of an effect. Okay? Now, let's talk about the characteristics of your spiritual side, your intellect, and probably touch on your physical body. Okay? You see, your conscious mind is a thinking mind. Your educated mind it is. That is where your intellect resonates. Okay? It's your thinking mind, your educated mind, your intellect. See, your subconscious is your emotional mind. It's really your emotional mind. You see, in down the history, every leader, every great leader, great spiritual leader, whichever way you want to talk about them, they disagree with so many things, but they agree on one point. That we become what we think about. They've disagreed with so many things, but only on one point. We become what we think about. Now, why is that? Because the function of our conscious mind is to choose. Our conscious mind is to choose. You can choose your mind. You can also accept or reject with your conscious mind, and you can originate ideas. Okay? Now, which is your intellectual, right? But guess what? Your subconscious mind must accept. It cannot reject. But get this, cannot differentiate between what is imagined or real. Let me say that again. The subconscious mind cannot differentiate, cannot determine what is imagined or what is real. Remember at the beginning I did mention to you that belief, part of belief is you to be. You have to be in your mind. Because the reason being is your subconscious mind, which is the powerhouse, really cannot differentiate between what is real and imagined. I want you to think about it for a second. Okay? Ladies and gentlemen, again, this is a $700 worth of information. The S.I.P concept. It is that powerful. Okay? Alright. Remember we're talking about what you can see and what you cannot see are all interlinked. That is just the graphical illustration of the lines coming across the spiritual, intellectual, and the physical. Okay? So we talk about the spiritual side, which is the real you. That's what the power resonated. That is the real you. Your intellectual is where you originate ideas. That's your thinking faculty. That's where that lies. And your physical body is what does the work. That is what you see, your environment, your surrounding. I think the power flows because we know the power is your spiritual side, which is the real you, right? So you have that power just lying on the unadulterated power. So you start generating an idea. You start thinking through an idea. Mixing that idea with that power, you get yourself to start acting in a certain way and get a result. The science of getting rich. It says if you're thinking a certain way, if you're in a certain way, acting a certain way, you're going to get a certain result. Powerful book. Actually, I recommended that book to so many people. The Science of Getting Rich by Walter D. Walters. You want to go find it. You want to go read it. Actually, I want to read it for 60 days every day because it's a very small book. I want to read it for 60 days every day. I tell you, you get some information that's going to revolutionize your life. It's what happened to me and countless of people that I've explained that information to. But this is the problem, guys. This is the problem. Because a lot of people actually do not know that the physical body actually has less than 20% of the work. And your spiritual side, which is the real you, remember we don't know how to quantify, because what we know, what we see and what we don't see are all the same. But psychologists actually reckon that your spiritual side of you, which is your subconscious, is probably over 90%. Some people go as far as 95%. So we actually don't know how powerful that is. So what we see and what we do not see are the same. And your ideas is about 8% more or less. But this is another problem. People go all the way from the bottom up. They look at their surroundings. They look at what is happening around them. And they try to justify their thinking. They try to justify the idea. They try to justify the thing they want to do, build, or have. And they start trying to work on that. That's the reason why 1% of the world population earn 95% of the world money. Why? Because they understand that you have to work from the higher potential to the lower potential. If you meet an engineer, electrical engineer, they will tell you, how do you work with electricity? You work from the higher potential down to the lower potential. Contrary to that, there's going to be a disaster. Valuable information, ladies and gentlemen. Remember earlier we talked about attitude. The way you feel, your power, your spiritual side, talks about the feeling mind. Your thinking, which is your intellect, and you act. So if you can understand how you work with those three all together, from the top down, you will be getting some phenomenal result. Let's go through some summaries of the information that we've shared so far. We talked about belief. Now you have to be the person that you want to be in your mind while you're living it out, while you're acting out, at least on the 1%. What does that actually mean? You want to become somebody who earns 6 figures per annum. The question that I have for you is, if you know anybody who earns 6 figures per annum, what do you think they do? How do they talk? When they eat their food, how do they eat their food? When they walk, how do they walk? When they dress, how do they dress? Now the question is, are you telling me I should go look for money and buy some big clothes? No. You don't need to buy no expensive clothes. Let me give you a philosophical quote. I tend to be philosophical sometimes. The way you do anything is the way you do everything. The way you do anything is the way you do everything. You don't need to buy expensive clothes. If you only got one shoe, the question is, how do you take care of that shoe? Do you clean it? Or do you just come back from work or come back from outing or whatever, you just put the shoe anywhere, you wake up the next day, you just put it back on and you're gone? If you have shirts, how many shirts do you have? Do you have 2? Do you actually take proper care of it? Do you clean? Do you iron them before you wear them? See, the little thing matters. Everything works with everything. Okay? Everything works with everything. So you want to start living like that person, the 1%. Somebody who's in a 6 figure, I will assume they wake up in the morning and they do some 5, 10, 20 minutes jogging. Do you jog? Do you walk around the block? Do you eat an apple a day? What do you do, or what can you do to start putting yourself on the being of the person you want to be, at least on the 1%? Okay. Talk about attitude. What is attitude? The compass of the way you think, feel, and act about a certain thing. What is your attitude to life? Some people say life is crazy, life is mad, life is boring, life is wicked. You're never going to get the best out of life if that is what you think about life. Let me even tell you. So life is all you've got. The sunshine, the rain, the soil, the wind. That is all you've got. So you got to embrace it. You got to find a way to think, feel, and act the best that you can in a certain way. Because that is how the life will correspond to what you put back into it. Life doesn't hate you. Well, you just got to know what to put into life. Because you're going to get back what you put into life. That's a fact. The S.I.P Concept. We know that you're a spirit being. You have an intellect and you live in a physical body. Remember when in the scripture it says somewhere that your body is a temple? Hey, Do you take care of your body? What do you do to take care of your body? Because really, you're a spirit. You have intellect living in the body. So your body is your house. You got to take care of it. A lot of people think they are having a spiritual experience that they are physical. No, you're actually a spirit having a physical experience. So if you can have that flip of understanding that your spirit being, you can do whatever you want to do. It's unbelievable what we can do. Let me put to the test. If you go to the gym, like myself, and you lift 20, 25, 30 kilos of weight, right? That's the highest you can go. Right now, close your eyes and tell me if you cannot carry 100 kilograms. Of course you can do. Right now, closing my eyes, I'm flying a plane right now. In my head. Because the spirit has no limit. It's full of expression and expansion. You can do so much if you understand that. But you have to remember, you walk from that image, using your ideas, mixing with that power, then pass it down to your physical body, then you start acting in a certain way. Okay. Let me give you something to go with. Something that can help you actually to put this information into practical use right here, right now. Write your goals. How many times have you heard that? Do you have a goal? Do you actually have a goal? Write it down. You got to read it every time. See it morning and night. Morning and night. Remind yourself of what you want to do. Never get loose. Because listen, if you write a lie on a piece of paper and you read it over and over again, you begin to believe it. You begin to believe that lie. So, lie to yourself if you want to. Tell yourself who you want to be. Let me give you the best way to start it. Right? I am grateful. I'm happy and grateful. Now that. I am happy and grateful. Now that. Now write your goal. Read it several times a day. Several times a day. Put it on a piece of paper. Put that paper in your pocket. The moment you put your hand in your pocket, the moment you put your hand in your pocket, you remember that goal. Remind yourself. Read it over, often and often and often again. Now let it be a scary goal. Something that will scare you and will excite you at the same time. Because really, the goal is not what matters. That's crazy, right? You'll be like, are you alright? The goal really is not what matters. What matters is the journey, what it will make out of you to achieve that goal. That is what matters. Not really the goal. You're going to get a goal, but what's going to make of you to get that goal? So that goal has to scare the light out of you and excite you at the same time. That is a real goal. If you have a goal that doesn't do those two things, you're gonna need a new goal, my friend. You gotta listen to motivational messages. You gotta listen to motivational messages, my friend. You know, somebody say, "Why really? Motivation don't last." I understand that motivation don't last. But guess what? Brushing your teeth don't last as well. That's why they recommend 1 or 2 a day. The same thing, ladies and gentlemen. You got to motivate yourself. Self-motivation is the most powerful tool. Self-motivation. You don't wait for any outside thing to motivate you. You motivate yourself. Okay? You get yourself in that regimentation. It's just 30 minutes a day. McDonald's know where you are. KFC, they know where you are. But every time, every day they do advertisement. Why? They're motivating you to come over. So why don't you motivate yourself to be, to do, and to have the day that you want? See, because we have to remember the reason why this motivation 30 minutes a day is so crucial. Because our sensory organs causes thinking. Our sensory organs causes thinking. If you see, smell, taste, touch, and feel, it's going to cause you to think. So imagine if all you're saying are all negative. All you're saying, talking about, hearing, everything around is all negative. You're going to think negative. Remember, what you think about is what you bring about. That's a law of attraction, right? So you want to keep your mind guided because all life diligence come out of it. 30 minutes of motivation. If you do not get anything, you got to get this. Upgrade your relationship. Upgrade your relationship. Walter D. Walters mentioned something. He said if you are trying to become rich, you need to go find those who have the authority over money, and work with them, because they will tell you how to get it. It's as simple as that. Upgrade your relationship. There are 3 basic C of people you're gonna meet: confidants, people who are consistent, and comrades. You see, you want to look for those who are your confidants, because you're confident they are into you and for you. They will do whatever it takes to get you to where you want to get to. You're gonna see a lot of comrades that are not in for you. They're only against what you are against. That's all. You're consistent. They're not in for you, but they are in for what you are in for at that particular time. Because when that thing is done, they're gone. Or the moment they find somebody else, they're gone. But your comrades, your confidants are into you and they're in for you. You want to upgrade your relationship. And lastly, have an action step that you know you're going to have regimentation every day that you commit to. I have mine. You got to go get yours. Write about 7 things that you know every day you want to do this stuff. It could be reading 1 page of a good book a day. It could be reading 5 pages. It could be listening to motivational for just 10 minutes a day. Talking to somebody you call a mentor, somebody that you know that can mentor you to do a certain thing. Talking to them maybe once a day. Just send them a text. Connecting to new people. Going out to different seminars. Buying different books. Just put in this thing into action. See, things can change rapidly. In closing, ladies and gentlemen. In closing. See, the key to life. The key to life is awareness. You got to be aware of some certain things. You got to be aware that you're a spiritual being, having intellect and you live in a physical body. You got to be aware that there's a power that's resonating right now, right here, everywhere around you right now. So your result are an expression of your level of awareness. Powerful word. The result that you have right now is just telling you the awareness or the expression of your awareness. Mr. Harvey said the best. He said the illiterate of the 21st century will not be those who cannot read and write. But guess what? But those who cannot learn, unlearn, and relearn. So the information I'm sharing with you right now, ladies and gentlemen, might be way above you. And it's okay. But you want to learn, unlearn the old stuff that you think you know, and relearn this new stuff. Because that is how you can actually tell that you are literate. There's no such thing as an educated person. It doesn't make sense. Whoever said that, I think must be crazy. Because educate comes from a Latin word, educo. It means to draw, to develop from within. So there's so many people who have never stepped into the world of school. But they are so much educated because they are inventors, they are explorers. They are the people who are leading the issue of this planet Earth. Are you going to tell me they're not educated? Of course they're educated. Of course they're educated. And there's so many PhD people right on the street. They have nothing to show for it. So if you want to be literate, you really want to learn, unlearn, and relearn every time. Every time. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a pleasant pleasure and a privilege to be right in front of you again to share this information. I'm so happy that we can go through this together. Listen, you can share this video, comment. I want to comment, ask questions, tweet about it, talk about it, subscribe to our YouTube page. Ladies and gentlemen, there's a link below. Oh, look at that guy, he's waving to you, right? It's telling you to click on the link below, and that link, ladies and gentlemen, will take you to a page of my mentor. He's got a phenomenal product that I want to share with our community right here. So I just thought, you know what, let me just bring that to you. You might have to click the link or somewhere, go down into the description or somewhere around this video. Get the information, and I tell you, it is something that's going to be mind blowing. Okay, it is absolutely mind blowing. I went through that information myself. Hey, of course, you've been my mentor, and I thought I should share with you guys. So it is a plum pleasure to be with you right here. And you know what? Have a good one. Work hard. Have your 7 steps that you want to commit every day. Listen to motivational speaker. Upgrade your relationship, ladies and gentlemen. upgrade your relationship. And I tell you, I'll see you at the bank. I'll see you at the top. God bless.